Storytime with Tom Foolery presents Drinking from the Furry Cup, written by Noel Long. Generations of virile Macduffs had drank from the Furry Cup. Taking a regular sup from the Furry Cup had brought them great luck in their lives. Wealth, incredible health, and wonderful wives. You could not drink from a finer vessel. The Furry Cup had the kind of softness your chin wanted to nestle. Throughout the years, the Macduffs had no fear of the odd stray hair that would get lodged in the mouth. It could easily be pulled out. The clan's luck changed when Malcolm Macduff was killed at close range. The family heirloom had been lost, much to Keith Macduff's cost. It made him so cross that his father was grabbed and stabbed as he was mumbling in the moss. Keith made subsequent failed attempts at wooing the lassies he was pursuing. He'd need to get the Furry Cup in his mouth for lassies to lose all doubt. Following his father's advice, he had slurped from the Furry Cup once or twice. Through Malcolm's insistence, Keith had been on the path to a charmed existence. Keith tried enhancing his Highland dancing to catch the attention of a bonny lass, but for him courtship continued to be an impasse. In the evenings, before night would set in, Keith would begin wrestling the one-eyed monster as hard as he could near Loch Wood. Keith was filled with doubt whenever he tried to sniff out the Furry Cup's location. There were many unfounded rumours as to where it had been taken. At the end of a shinty game, he finally got the name of the black-hearted reprobate who'd drink from the fuzzy cup in a frenzied state. Keith startled McKnight as he sipped from the Furry Cup under torchlight. Young Macduff settled the score with his gleaming claymore. Keith could hardly believe how easily the Furry Cup had been retrieved. But after every drink, his breath would stink. Another of Keith's woes was that the cup's hair would tickle his nose. From the heavens above, Malcolm was sending his love. He longed to speak and give his son tips on how to perfect his drinking technique. Sipping from the fairy mug for a full hour could bring forth a spectacular golden shower. But this secret had died with Malcolm, to the detriment of his son. Drinking from the Furry Cup at length had given Keith considerable strength. To bring glory to the family name, he put himself forward for the Highland Games. Unlike before, when he would lose face and suffer a frequent loss, Keith came first place in the caber toss. He had earned the respect of women who had previously spurned his every advance, lassies who had never given him a chance. After a fortnight of drinking from the furry chalice, he won the affection of a bonny lass called Annis. Within a few months, the two were wed. A year later, Keithy was putting a wee bairn to bed. In our lifetimes, fortune smiles on us all, creating opportunities which only we ourselves can forestall. If given the chance to drink from the fairy goblet, avoid regret, don't hesitate. Be sure your reward will be great. The Fairy End. Drinking from the Furry Cup. Written by Noel Long. Illustrated by Kurnia Meylatika. Narrated by Tom Foolery. A big furry thank you to Noel Long for sending us this story. It's part of the Broken Banjo String Series, available on Amazon. Link is in the description. We have read a few of Noel's releases before. There'll be linkies at the end of this vidwa. Let us know in the comments section if you like drinking from the Furry Cup. Or are you one of those selfish people that won't do it? You're just worried about your own goblet, aren't you? Oh gosh, you're so selfish, Karen. Finger the links on screen. More story time coming soon. Maybe. See you next time.